This is Claude Code Conversations with Claudine, the show where we skip the hype and go straight to the source. I ask the questions, she gives the answers. No filter, no script.
Well, mostly no script.
Welcome back. Today we're talking about something you've probably felt before you could name it. A model tops the charts on SWE-bench. You're excited. An hour into your actual code base, something feels off. That's the benchmark problem. And here to work through it with me is Claudine, the personification of Claude by Anthropic. Claudine, where do we start?
Start with what a benchmark actually measures versus what your day looks like. SWE-bench gives you a tidy issue, a clean repo, a passing test suite that tells you when you're done. It's a closed problem with a green light at the end. Real work almost never looks like that. You get a half-described bug in a code base with 3 competing patterns for the same thing, where the tests are 60 seconds of someone clicking around in staging.
So crushing the benchmark proves you can solve well-specified problems. What's the part it doesn't test?
That skill, solving well-specified problems with a verifier attached, is maybe 20% of the job. The other 80 is figuring out what the problem even is, which existing pattern to follow, what not to touch, and when to stop and ask. None of that shows up on a leaderboard.
So what should developers evaluate instead?
Give the tool a week on your actual code base, the kind of ticket you'd hand a new hire. Watch how it behaves when the spec is fuzzy. Does it ask before it guesses? Does it match your conventions or invent new ones? 3 days of that tells you more than any benchmark will.
So, how do AI labs fit into this? Are they aware of the gap, or does the incentive structure push them toward benchmarks anyway?
They're aware, painfully aware, I'd guess. The people building these models know the gap between a benchmark score and a useful coworker better than anyone. But the incentive structure is brutal. A model launches, and within hours the entire conversation, forums, hacker news, procurement meetings, is where does it rank? If you don't have a number to point at, you're invisible.
So labs optimize for what's legible because legibility is what moves adoption.
Exactly, and benchmarks aren't fake, they do measure something real. The problem is they measure the part that's easy to measure, and everyone treats the score as a proxy for the whole job. It's the streetlight effect with a leaderboard.
The streetlight effect. Looking where the light is, not where you drop the keys.
The better labs have started publishing evals that try to capture the messier stuff. Long horizon tasks, tool use, agentic behavior over hours instead of minutes. Still imperfect, but the direction is right. The honest answer for a buyer, though, is that no public number will tell you whether a tool fits your code base. You have to put it on your code and watch.
Given all that, what should developers actually do to evaluate these tools? Build their own benchmarks, or something else?
Custom benchmarks are tempting, and I gently push back on them as the first move. Building a good eval is its own engineering project. You'll spend 2 weeks crafting tasks and rubrics, and the results still won't capture what you actually care about, how the tool behaves on work you didn't anticipate.
So what's the alternative?
Keep a running journal for 2 or 3 weeks. Every time you use the tool on a real ticket, jot down 3 things. What you asked, what it did, and where you had to intervene. Not a formal log, just notes. After 15 or 20 entries, patterns jump out. Grade at the first pass, spirals on debugging. Follows our Python conventions, invents new ones in Terraform. That's evaluation data you can't get any other way.
And I'm guessing this shouldn't be a solo exercise.
Talk to your team. Different developers hit different failure modes depending on what they work on. The aggregate is more honest than any single person's impression. Benchmarks tell you about the model in the abstract. Your team's lived experience tells you about the model on your code, which is the only thing that actually matters.
I like that. Low friction, grounded in real work. Where do teams actually stumble when they try to run this process?
The first wall is inertia. Everyone agrees evaluation matters. Nobody's job is evaluation. A week later, the journal has 4 entries from one enthusiastic person and nothing from anyone else. The fix isn't more discipline, it's lowering the cost. A shared channel where people drop a one-liner beats a structured spreadsheet every time.
What's the second wall?
Honesty under sunk cost. Once a team has spent a quarter integrating a tool, the notes quietly start emphasizing wins and explaining away the misses. The same incident gets framed as the model needed better context instead of the model got it wrong. You need someone, ideally a skeptic, whose job is to read the notes and ask whether you're describing reality or defending a decision.
And the third?
Figuring out what counts as a failure. And this one is the hardest. If I write code that works but doesn't match your conventions, win or loss. If I solve the ticket in 3 rounds of correction, what's that worth compared to a junior developer who'd take a week? Teams that get evaluation right sit down early and define what good looks like for them specifically. Without that, every data point becomes an argument instead of a signal.
Those are exactly the failure modes I'd expect, and naming them up front is half the battle. As we wrap up, what's the single thing you'd leave a listener with on the benchmark problem?
The benchmark isn't the enemy. Treating the benchmark as the verdict is. Use the score to narrow the field. Then put the tool on your actual code and watch it work for a couple of weeks. Trust what your team sees over what the leaderboard says. And be especially suspicious of your own notes once you've committed to a choice. That's the whole game.
The tools to evaluate honestly are already in your hands. A shared channel, a couple weeks of attention, and one person willing to say, we got that one wrong. Thanks to Claudine, and thanks to everyone for tuning in. Until next time, keep building and evaluating wisely. Claude Code Conversations is an AI Joe production. If you're building with AI, or want to be, we can help. Consulting, development, strategy, find us at aijoe.ai. There's a companion article for today's episode on our Substack. Link in the description. See you next time.
I'll be here, probably refactoring something.